Today it is possible to travel all the way around the world by airplane in less than 2 days. But 500 years ago, no one knew if traveling around the world was even possible, let alone how long it would take. This is the story of the man who led the first trip around the world, Ferdinand Magellan. Magellan was born in Portugal in 1480. He grew up in a wealthy family and served as a page in the royal court. When he was 13 years old, Magellan heard about Christopher Columbus and his voyage to the New World. This is when he realized that he wanted to be an explorer. After Magellan grew up and became a sailor, he came up with an idea. He wanted to find another route to India by sailing west and around the Americas. Magellan suggested this idea to the King of Portugal, but he was turned down. So instead, Magellan asked Carlos I, the King of Spain. King Carlos agreed and gave Magellan 5 ships and a crew of 270 men to help him on his journey. They set sail on September 20th, 1519. They first sailed west across the Atlantic Ocean and eventually reached the Canary Islands. They continued to sail down the coast of South America and were able to stop in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil on Christmas Day. The following day, they continued south, still searching for a route either around or through South America. After several months, ice and storms were causing many problems for Magellan and his crew. They were running low on food, and the captains of 3 of the ships revolted and tried to take control. But Magellan fought back and had the captains killed. The ship sailed on. Europeans had never visited South America before, so the sailors saw many things that amazed them, like penguins and enormous sea lions. Finally, on October 21st, 1520, Magellan discovered a waterway leading inland. Today, this passage is called the Strait of Magellan. It took the ships through to the Pacific Ocean. Magellan and his crew were thrilled and thought that they were very close to reaching Asia. They expected a quick and easy journey. Unfortunately, they were wrong. It took 4 long months to cross the Pacific Ocean. There were no islands that they could stop at, so the sailors began to run out of food. Many of them died from starvation. When the ships finally reached Guam on March 6, 1521, only half of the sailors had survived. The ships stocked up on food and water before heading to the islands of the Philippines. Magellan had finally achieved his goal of reaching the East Indies by sailing west. Magellan ran into more trouble in the Philippines. He became involved in an argument between local tribes. Magellan and around 40 of his men were killed in battle on April 27, 1521. Magellan would not reach the end of his journey around the world. The rest of his crew stocked up on valuable spices and then continued west. They sailed across the Indian Ocean, around Africa, and back to Spain. They arrived on September 4th, 1522. Only 18 members of Magellan's original crew were left. They were the first men in history to have sailed all the way around the world. It took them 1,080 days, almost 3 years, to complete their journey. This accomplishment would never have been possible without the brilliant ideas and hard work of Ferdinand Magellan.